US. Obviously, as Corey mentioned, my name is Tommy Kowalik, and I am one of the campus recruiting managers here with HCL Technologies. And I have the distinct honor and pleasure of working with various campus partners here at HCL to connect with top talent such as yourselves as you are looking to enter into the professional world after graduation. So we're looking forward to telling you more about HCL, who we are, and what we're all about. And then we'll have plenty of time at the end of this quick presentation to answer all your questions about HCL, whether it be the entry-level Rise program, internships, and everything along those lines. And I do just want to apologize beforehand if you do hear my dog barking in the background. We do have a 1-year-old puppy, and she is training and sometimes can get a little excited, especially with her separation anxiety since I work from home. So if she barks in the background, I apologize in advance. So without further ado, let's dive in. Just to give you a quick overview of our agenda, we'll start off with introductions. For our call today, I will be the only one doing the presenting and on the call, but also show you and do quick introductions to the rest of our campus recruitment team who helps run the show here at HCL. Then we'll go over the overview of HCL, who we are, more in depth, what we're all about, a couple of our DEI initiatives, as well as our social responsibility that we take pride in. And then we'll get more into the nitty gritty of the entry-level Rise program and what that entails and the requirements for that. And like I said, at the end, we will finish it up with our Q&A section where we'll have plenty of time to answer all your questions and to make sure that you have the smoothest transition possible after graduation. So without further ado, let's get into introductions. As you can see, this is our entire enablement team on the entry-level campus recruitment side here at HCL Technologies. Starting on the left, we have Chris Pensiero. He's located up in the Connecticut area, Hartford, Connecticut, so in Southern New Hampshire's territory. And supports our Hartford, Connecticut office, as well as our Horsham, Pennsylvania office. Eve Joseph is out on the West Coast and does a lot of work with our Sacramento crew. Jacqueline Kelly works in our Texas location and focuses on our Frisco hiring, as well as San Antonio, Texas, and as well as Myra Zimmerman there. Her and Jack partnered together. And then you have myself and my colleague, Sarah Wild. We help deal with the Cary, North Carolina office, as we are both located down here in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. And we also support our Troy, Michigan office and Cincinnati, Ohio office as well. So that is our entire team. As I said, when you apply to our Rise program, these are the individuals that you will be speaking with. So I always like to put a face to a name for everybody, just so they know that we are more than just a one-person team here at HCL. There are plenty of us to help and provide support. So moving on, an overview of HCL. HCL, we are, for those of you who don't know, we are an $11 billion IT enablement company. Essentially, what that means is we help our customers best utilize their existing IT solutions, as well as help them to innovate with cutting-edge technologies that are most relevant to the real world today. We have just over 200,000 what we call ideapreneurs worldwide. And that term ideapreneurs comes directly from our culture of being open to and celebrating new ideas, whether you are a seasoned veteran of the company who's been here 20, 30 years, or what we call a fresher, who are those entry-level early career individuals that are just starting their journey. We take a lot of pride in really focusing on making sure everybody's ideas and input is valuable here at HCL. And we believe that has allowed us to grow and speaks tremendously to our growth culture as well. You can also see a couple of awards there. In 2020 and 2021, we were recognized by Forbes magazine on their best employers in the world list. And in 2021, we were also recognized as a great place to work by Bloomberg. We were also recognized on the Gender Equity Index in the Working Mother magazine index as one of the most inclusive companies and best companies for women to work with. And in addition, we have still been named the fastest growing tech company in the last 4 years by Brand Finance. And like I said, all these awards and our ideapreneur culture really speaks to our growth, our culture, and our corporate and social responsibilities, as well as our diversity and inclusion, which takes us to our next topic about our DE&I and our employee resource groups. And really, diversity, equity, inclusion is a huge priority here at HCL. Not only is investing in DEI the right thing to do, it is also the smart business thing to do. I always make sure that the company that I represent shares my principles and ethics regarding people, the environment, and the innovation. And since joining HCL, I've definitely seen firsthand how HCL globally prides itself as an organization of openness, transparency, and inclusivity. HCL really believes that diversity inspires creative thinking and then leads to sustained innovation. And to foster this worldwide, we have a bunch of different what we call employee resource groups. Now, ERGs, as we call them for short, they're very similar like your school clubs and organizations. They're all led by internal employees of HCL. And what they do is it gets those groups together that have and share similar interests, and allows them to interact and grow and create different initiatives, and really build an inclusive feeling here at HCL. And you can see a couple listed there on the screen with Pride at HCL, Ability to Network, Single Parent Network, Women Can Network. All these are huge ERGs that we have here at HCL and things we all take pride in, as DE&I is a huge push for us as well. I also mentioned the social responsibility aspect of it. Not only are we focused on building inclusive communities and growing within HCL, but also the local communities outside of HCL. We can remain committed to transforming all of those communities at our global delivery centers. And we operate those, again, through employee-led volunteerism, whether it's collaborating with civic organizations, local governments, universities, charitable institutions to really cultivate lasting relationships and benefiting the lives of thousands. We're committed to creating a sustainable business with a clear focus on corporate social responsibility and diversity and inclusion, really on a global scale. And right here in the backyards of, like I mentioned, all of our global delivery centers. We have a $15 million HCL grant program that is aimed at organizations that you'll see here, just a couple listed on this slide, that focus on social transformation through innovations in education, health, the environment, and again, all focused on efforts towards inclusive growth and development. And if you're interested in hearing more about the social responsibility aspect of what we do at HCL, feel free to check out our social platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our website as well. Has a whole bunch of different groups and programs that we get involved in also. So let's dive a little bit more into what we call our Rise program, which is the whole, one of the main reasons that you guys are here. So our Rise program is focused on bringing in entry-level early career individuals, such as yourselves, providing them with training for the first 3 to 6 months in various skill sets that they're interested in, and then having them support our clients directly on those projects with those skills that they learned throughout training. We have a couple different lines of businesses that we support. A lot of it's focused all in the IT technical space. So we have application development, DevOps, cybersecurity, cloud engineering, network engineering, but then we also have a couple others, such as project management focused roles as well, but all focused around the IT and STEM related fields. Now, for our Rise program, we do have a couple different requirements that you can see listed here on the screen. So in order to be eligible for the Rise program, we do require those individuals to have a bachelor's degree within the past 3 years, whether it be in mathematics, sciences, statistics, engineering, information technology, computer science, really any of those STEM related fields. We do require a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or greater. And then we also require individuals to live within a commutable distance of the global delivery center that they are supporting for the Rise program. And the reason we do that is, as I mentioned, we do have 8 global delivery centers really spread out throughout the US. And with the type of work and the programs that we have, we support a variety of different clients in those specific locations. And there are a lot of clients that do like individuals to be within a commutable distance for client meetings, projects, team meetings, things along those lines. Now, on top of the Rise program, we do have a specialized program within for entry-level hires called our MSE program, or Mathematics, Statistics, Engineering, and Business Information Systems program. And that is really focused on those individuals who maybe don't have the specific computer science background. What we do with the MSE program is we take those individuals in, specifically who are lined up for a hands-on IT focused role, such as application development, cloud engineering, software test engineering. We provide them essentially with a 4 to 5 week fundamental boot camp to give them really that foundational knowledge of the skill sets that they're going to learn in order to get them up to speed and make sure they feel completely comfortable supporting clients and beginning to work on projects on their own. As we're looking to give more opportunities to those individuals with those backgrounds and maybe don't have your traditional computer science degree, but want to go into the IT space as well. All the requirements essentially are the same as well, with the minimum GPA, ability to live within a commutable distance of the office, and then you'll see a lot of the additional training there as well that we have for our MSE program. Now, as I mentioned, we do have 8 different global delivery centers throughout the US. There's only 6 listed on here as well, because a couple of them currently don't have any openings at this moment. But out of the ones that we do, you'll see Frisco, Texas, with a couple of the different positions that we have available. Cary, North Carolina, San Antonio, Horsham, Pennsylvania, Hartford, Connecticut, and Cincinnati, Ohio. And like I said, we have chosen these specific locations throughout the country for our global delivery centers, or GDCs, as we call them, as a lot of our work that we have with various clients around the country are focused in those areas. So we like to build up those local communities with the local talent there and help support our clients and projects in those areas as well. And the last bit I would like to go over here with you is simply our application process. So essentially, our application process is fairly simple. All you have to do is apply online at the web address there, hcltech.com. Or if you have your phone, you can scan that QR code. Now it does work. So feel free to do that as well. And officially submit your resume and what your type of roles you're interested in and all your information. When you do that, you'll then receive what's called our aptitude assessment. Our aptitude assessment, it's about an hour-long assessment. It is all online. It goes through 5 different sections, which include critical thinking, verbal reasoning, quantitative aptitude, analytical ability, computer fundamentals. And then after that aptitude assessment, you then have a one-on-one call with one of our recruiters, such as myself or any of the individuals that I mentioned earlier. They speak to you more about what you're interested in, the roles we have available immediately in those global delivery center locations that you're interested in. And then after that, if all goes well and everybody's interested, you go and move on to a 30-minute video interview with one of our hiring managers. And if all goes well with that interview, we are then move forward with an offer letter for you and get you onboarded to start the program. So fairly simple process to take through. Like I said, we work with candidates throughout the process as well to make sure they have all the information available to them and to make sure everything works smoothly and efficiently as possible. So I appreciate you, everybody, tuning in and listening to me ramble on here about the Rise program. I hope I didn't bore you too much here, but that is it for the presentation about the overview of HCL. I'm open to answer any questions. Corey, I'm not sure how you'd like to go about that.
Sure.
If you want me to just open up the chat, or if people want to raise their hand, we can have them hop on as well, or whatever you think works best.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Tommy, for your presentation. And so this portion, last half of the 30 minutes is Q&A. So feel free to use the raise your hand feature under reactions. And we will kind of go down the line and you can ask your question and come off mute. If you're not comfortable doing that, you're more than welcome to put your question in the chat, and I'd be happy to ask your question for you. So with that, we'll open it up now.
Yep, I see Dale has. Sorry, I'm trying to get my. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Trying to get the lighting all right here, because I noticed a bunch of the blinds were in my face. You guys don't mind that. Dale, I think you had a question.
Dale, if you come off mute, feel free to ask your question.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can.
Loud and clear.
All right, I'm more interested in the on the medical records side. Do you do anything in that area?
Medical records, not so much. Occasionally we will have some medical type work based in our Cincinnati, Ohio office, but a lot of that is more so like domain engineering. But a majority of our work really is focused on the information technology related type roles, unfortunately.
All right, well, I just wanted to know what this was about.
Sure.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. I appreciate you stopping in, Dale, for sure.
Yeah.
I think I see Linton. Is that correct?
Zell?
Yes.
Is Al? Yes.
Yeah, that's
Zell, sorry
correct.
about that.
So I was saying, do you guys have any entry level programs? So basically, I'm just joining, I'm just getting started with software engineering.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So, in terms of entry level for recently graduated, or entry level?
I'm currently freshman.
Okay, gotcha. So a lot of our entry level for the full-time hires is going to be focused on those individuals that have graduated or recently graduated, right? We will have sponsorships, and we're actually reviewing our sponsorship program for the spring, and hoping that we will get that all figured out and situated to bring on spring interns as well. But that plan is still in the works at this current moment in time. So that typically is open to individuals that are entering usually their junior or senior year for the internship. However, we do have our apprenticeship program as well, which might be a better fit if I believe I get the requirements correct there, Corey.
Yeah, yep. I put the apprenticeship session in the chat for Izal. So if you want to come into that session in about 10 minutes, that whole program, we'll have another presenter that handles that program go over the apprenticeship session. Thanks, Izal. Looks like you have quite a few more questions there, Tommy.
Cool. Let's go with Brian. That's next on my list, I see.
How you doing? Again, well, thanks for having this session.
Yeah, absolutely.
It actually is kind of nice to know the certain companies that are out there.
Absolutely.
One thing for me that is important, I mean, I'm coming up, I got about 9-10 months until graduation, and concerned with transitioning. I've been in law enforcement for the past 12 years. I've done computer forensics and robotics for my police department and SWAT team. So I'm kind of their techie guy. I'm going for a degree in cybersecurity. Do you have certain programs for transitioning to a new career, or what kind of outlook does that have when going towards a position with your company?
Sure, absolutely. So our Rise program really focuses on that, right? We we don't try to uh, necessarily hinder individuals from not pursuing our program because of their past experience or making a transition into the IT field. We've actually had a lot of individuals who have come from different careers who, went back to school to get their degree, and then joined us on a full-time basis in, application development or cybersecurity or program management. Um, because that's really what our training and our Rise program is about, right? Um, we want to bring individuals and give them the ability to learn and grow with us, and give them that skill set, whether they've had, a completely different career in the past life, or internships, or anything along those lines. If we have the openings available, and you apply and go through the process and get selected and move forward with an offer, the training that you'll receive is really the best part that we have for those that transition. So we don't necessarily have a specific program, per se, for individuals who are transitioning from other careers, but as long as you have that degree, or meet the requirements, eligible for that career. So, for example, I know we do have a lot of cybersecurity work down in the Texas area. I'm not sure if that's an area that you're familiar with or open to.
Kind of stuck in Southern California. So
Southern California. Okay. So we have Sacramento. It would be our closest office to you, right? I'm not sure how close that is.
That's about an 8-hour drive. That's a
drive.
long commute,
Okay.
right there.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, so because of the training that we give in the Rise program, right, that is kind of that helps and is part of the transition that we give for those individuals that are doing that as well. So, but as I did mention, right, one of the requirements to require individuals to relocate, or at least live within a commutable distance of whatever office they're supporting. Sometimes there are options where there are positions that open up in other areas that aren't close to our global delivery centers. So that does happen occasionally as well. So what I would, suggest is definitely, as you get closer, you would probably be more in line with our July hiring timeframe next year, as you're still 9-10 months out. Apply and reach out about the March, April timeframe, and we can talk to you about what we have available and what we're looking at, and if there's, something ideally closer to you.
Okay.
As well, to get you started in there.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brad. Next one I see is Junior.
Thanks, Tommy, for the presentation.
Sure.
I'm a SNHU graduate
Okay.
and
Congratulations.
through GEM in Rwanda. So I would like to know if people who are not based in US are eligible for this Rise program.
So if you are not based in the U.S., right, we would require individuals, again, to live within a commutable distance of that office that they're supporting, right? So if you are open to relocating, that is something that we would be able to take into consideration for that. So it does happen, right, where we do get individuals who are not local to the United States, who are interested in the program, that meet the eligibility requirements, that are, as long as they're able to and open to relocate to within the office that they're supporting, then they would be eligible to go through the program.
Okay, thanks.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
And I'm very open to relocating.
Okay, perfect. I'll just recommend then completing an application online if you haven't already, and then, like I said, one of our team members will reach out and help work you through the process.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Yep, absolutely. I think the next one I see is Maurice with their hand raised. Maurice, can you hear me?
Good
Oh
evening,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Can you hear
I
me?
don't.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I thought I heard somebody else too, but you can hear me properly?
Nope, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking the time to meet with me, Thomas.
Mhm.
My particular situation I would like to be is a little bit special, but hopefully not unusual to you, sir.
Okay.
Um, I did speak with Susan in the as the head of the Rise program because I applied for the apprenticeship program.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, there was a disconnect between the advertisement and my handshake and the email I received. One of the requirements is you have to have less than 30 credits for that particular program, and you can't have a STEM degree. And I did not know that my economics degree was a STEM degree.
Okay.
So I was
Gotcha.
wondering, my first question is, were you familiar that economics was also considered a STEM degree?
I was not. I will have to double check on that to see. Um, I do know that, and you said you've already graduated.
And yes, sir, I did. And that's going to, might have a follow-up question too.
Okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll double check to see if the economics falls under our STEM platform, because I know generally that is more on the um, business side for us, but I'll
Uh,
definitely double check with that.
and yes, sir, it's not my intent to catch you off guard. I
Sure,
just
sure, no,
want,
absolutely.
I'm just one of those individuals that do have an economics degree. I didn't know it was a STEM, considered a STEM degree.
Sure.
And I thought because I did not have a STEM degree that was eligible for the apprenticeship program, but I would like to move on to the difficulty that I experienced when I was trying to apply for a position.
Okay.
As you mentioned that you wanted recent graduates within the last 3 years, and I noticed the application process allowed for an individual to mention that they acquired their degree in 2015. In my particular situation, I attained my economics degree in 2012. You
Okay.
mentioned your MSE program. I
Hmm.
was wondering where I possibly would fit in, considering that I have too much credentials for the apprenticeship program, but not enough credentials possibly for the RISE program, considering that I have a degree in economics and I'm a year away from my associate's degree in computer science. I was just wondering if there is a
Okay.
possible fit somewhere in HCL for me.
Sure. If you're a year away from your associates in computer science, typically what would happen is you would be able to do an internship, right?
Mhm.
With internships are typically open to those individuals that are finishing up their at minimum associate's degree. Now,
Mhm.
as I said, we're hoping that the internship does come back for the spring,
Mhm.
as it was put on hold for this fall semester,
Mhm.
and we just finished up the summer semester. Um, However, we should have more information probably next month or so for for that spring internship, if that is something that you were interested in as well. And typically, what happens with our internships is at the end, if you everything goes well and you complete the internship, and the reporting manager thinks you're doing well, then they recommend you for a full-time role once you finish your graduation, right? So that would probably be the best route until you complete that degree. So what we can do is, if you have my contact information, I'm not sure if it's in the chat or I'm able to share that. I'll drop it in the chat here, but I'll put my email in there. And I'll be sure to shoot me an email with your information, and I'll be sure to keep you updated when we get more information on our internships, as that'll most likely be the best way and best route to go.
And it's not my intent to take up too much of your time. I just wanted
Sure.
to make sure, for some reason, I'm not very familiar with Microsoft Teams. I wasn't able to view the presentation and I cannot see the chat. Is
Okay.
it possible for you to verbally say what your email is so I can
Sure.
reach out to you at a later time?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And it's fairly easy. So it's Thomas, Thomas Kowalik, KOWALICK at HCL.com.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. There's other people that have information. I would like to thank you for taking the time to speak with me, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you, Maurice. Have a great rest of your day.
All right,
Thanks,
take care.
Maurice. Hey, Tommy, I sent you a quick email note. I don't know if Susan is coming along or she's tied up with something, but we're waiting for her in the other session to start.
Okay, let me let me try to send her. Yeah, because I spoke with her not too long ago, probably like an hour or two ago. That she was all set.
All right, I'm gonna head back over there. But after you wrap up here, if you could pop back over there just in case, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, hold on. Yep, Corey, she just sent me a ping on Teams as well. Do you have her email?
No.
Okay.
Can you email it to me?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Let me do that. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna pop back over there.
Okay.
Thanks, Tommy. Sorry to interrupt everyone.
Give me 1 second, everybody. Sorry, everybody, 1 second. All right, I think Jonathan is the next one who has his hand up.
Hi, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, how's it going, Thomas? Nice presentation,
Good, how are you?
by the way.
What's up?
I'm well. No, I said nice presentation.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, couldn't hear you.
Hey,
Awesome.
Thomas, so I heard you speak about how you were mainly focusing on the IT department. But I figured I'd ask anyway. Do you have any entry-level programs that has to do with graphic design or UX, UI?
Typically no, right? Because a lot of our IT and our Rise program is focused on more so, well, just to break it down for you. So we essentially 3 lines of businesses, right? And I'll try to make this as quick as possible. But we have what's called our digital business, our engineering and research services, and then our infrastructure business. Our digital business and what we call ERS, or engineering research services, has a lot of different like application and software development, which is all back-end focused. And then as well as like data engineering, embedded software engineering, DevOps type work, and similar to what you would find in our ERS division. And then our infrastructure has more so like network engineering, project management, cloud engineering, just to name a few. The UI UX is typically a different skill set, right? Because with our Rise program, we bring individuals in and we have certain hiring dates throughout the year where we bring in, a certain amount of individuals with all locations combined, and they all go through the same training. So typically it's all focused on like the back-end software development and there might be some like front-end development like JavaScript or React or things like that, but typically not so much like UI UX design or along those lines, because it's all more based on like web application development and software development. So if that does become, a position, definitely keep an eye out on our program. as we're always, expanding and getting clients. And with that comes additional work as well. So definitely be sure to keep an eye out to see if there are any other of those opportunities.
Got it. All right. Appreciate your time, man.
Yep. Thank you, Jonathan. Have a good one.
All right. You too, man.
All right. I'm just going to go through the chat because I know there are a couple people that probably have a couple other questions. Okay. Just saying what is the apprenticeship program? Okay, so we have that. I'm just trying to see if there are, okay, so that's everybody on there. All right, so Jovan Johnson Shaw, you asked about for project management, you have a business or a business administration degree with the Rise program, what you would go through. Yeah, for the program project management analyst with the business admin degree, especially if you have like an IT concentration in that would be the program for you to go to. Castrat, your second year of the cybersecurity bachelor's degree program, is there a minimum of classes accomplished to apply? So you do have to get your degree in order to be considered for the Rise program entry level on the entry level side. So once you get closer to the last couple classes that you're finishing up, you can then, and you have probably about 4 or 5 months left, you can apply and it'll probably line up with one of our hiring dates. Are there any opportunities that don't require a completed bachelor's degree? That would be for our apprenticeship program, and then also, like I said, with internships as well. That is another program that we are hoping to bring back in the spring, but we'll obviously keep everybody updated from there. Assistance. All right, and then last one before I get to the individuals that raise their hands. Bring towards operation management and logistics bachelor's degree, got May 23. Well, so for operations management and logistics bachelor's degree, typically that is outside of the STEM field. And for the only one that it might work for is project management analyst. However, like I said, there does need to be an IT concentration. So I don't believe that would qualify for it. But that could change in the future or depending on what clients we work with. Again, just feel free to always keep an eye out, especially since your graduation is still a couple months away. So Maurice, I believe you have your oh, sorry, I think Maurice, we already answered your question. I think I saw another hand that was raised. No, okay.
Brian's is still raised. I'm not sure,
Okay.
Brian, if you had a question. Yeah, Brian, your mic is enabled in case you needed to ask something else. If not, that's fine.
Okay, so the other, I'm just going to go back to the chat then real quick, make sure I hit all these. Joel asked, will remote work be available for those in the Rise program for cybersecurity? Unfortunately, there is no remote work, especially in the beginning. We do all of our orientation and training on site for those individual global delivery centers. And like we mentioned, we do have 8 different global delivery centers around the country. So if you're not local to it, you would be required to relocate to within a commutable distance. As that training, again, is done all on site. We do offer relocation assistance as well to help for that also. But the remote work, unfortunately, right now we everything does, again, fall on site. Now, there could be, when you are assigned projects, you could be, working remotely depending on the client that you're supporting, but it all just depends on the project and the client you're supporting. Okay. Other session is good to go. So, perfect. Any other questions for you guys? I know it seems like a couple of people hopped off as well, but I'm happy to stay on for a few more minutes to answer any questions. Mark, I see you have your hand up.
Hey, Mark, you're muted, I think. Yeah, it's muted. There you go.
All right. I missed the first half of this meeting on technical difficulties there.
No, no worries.
What happened with the relocation support? What does that entail?
Sure, absolutely. So depending on how far you're relocating, and we break it down by different tiers. So anything 50 miles or greater, if it requires you to relocate, which again, for our Rise program, we do require individuals to live within that commutable distance. So if you're open to relocating to within a commutable distance, as long as you're relocating greater than 50 miles, you're eligible for having your relocation expenses covered. And like I said, we have different tiers. So I believe between 50 and 500 miles, you have a set amount. 500 to 1,000, you have a set amount. 1,000 to 1,500, you have a set amount. And it covers, the cost of renting a U-Haul or a moving company and a bunch of different other things that are included in relocation that come up for those individuals that require relocation.
Okay. I also might be in the wrong session here. I've already graduated.
Okay.
And I thought this is for the 3 positions you already have posted. Now, you've got this RISE program here. What's the difference?